Okay, so in the news, for anyone who is following the Jeffrey Epstein, the Prince Andrew stuff, this is Virginia Giuffre, and she was one of the first SA victims that came out in public and who came out in public and accused Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew for schmex trafficking. And in the end, they did settle out of court with Prince Andrew for an undisclosed amount, but she hasn't stopped talking about this. She's been an advocate for all of these women that were schmex trafficked by Epstein and all of this Posey and all of these terrible, evil people, the elites. Okay. And apparently, she had a car crash with a school bus. And this happened, I believe, a week ago, almost a week ago. I think it was, no, this was, yeah, I think this was last weekend where it happened. And she posted this. She posted this picture from her hospital bed, claiming that she had 4 days to live because of kidney failure and because of this car crash or bus crash, car accident. Okay. And people were like sussing her out. People were not really believing the story. They were like, okay, how come you have 4 days to live? How do you know that? How bad was the accident? Why didn't we hear of this before you even made the post? If this was such a terrible accident, what's going on? And that's why people thought that this was an April Fool's joke. And other people are really attacking her now, and they're calling her a liar. They're saying that she's suffering from Munchausen's, that she is an attention seeker, all of it. So they're really going after her online, the internet. The thing is, yesterday, so I was kind of like following the Australian newspaper. She lives in Australia. And I was following what the press was saying. And they, one of the Australian newspapers interviewed the school bus driver, and he says this has been completely blown out of proportion. The accident wasn't that bad. The school bus didn't even have, you know, severe damage. It was very, it was sort of like very superficial damage that happened on the bus. And he said no one was hurt. The kids were fine because he had school kids on board. He said, like, he doesn't understand why she's claiming that that car accident has caused her to be in a hospital in such a bad state and having and in need of dialysis, people in need of dialysis, which is, I believe, her kidney failure or whatever issue she has with kidneys has nothing to do with the car accident. Anyway, so I thought this was very interesting because when I first saw the news, which is this, and I screenshot it, and I actually sent it to Kempire, and I'm like, it was really late at night over here, and I sent it to Kempire. I'm like, this is really interesting that this is coming out now, because April, as you know, and because we've just had two very, very powerful eclipses, a lot of things are coming to light. So I thought this was very interesting that Virginia Giuffre, and initially I thought, oh my God, she was targeted. She was targeted. This was on purpose. Someone really wanted to unalive this woman. So I sent it to Kempire, and I'm like, look at this. I believe that more is going to come out, not only regarding Epstein or Prince Andrew, but the diddler, all of these evil men out there that have done so much evil. And this was a couple of days ago when the news first came out. But now I'm like, and today I thought, listen, let's read more into this. I think there is a lot more to it. I do believe that Virginia Giuffre has exaggerated things. This is what my intuition's saying, that this has been really blown out of proportion, to quote the bus driver here. But what's behind this? This is the thing. I feel there's something else behind this. It's not just attention seeking. Some people claim that she did this because she wanted to get her children's attention because she has been estranged from her children. I think she is separated from her husband. So I don't know if he's got custody right now of the children or if there is some kind of custody dispute that's happening right now. That's why we need to throw the cards, right? Because it's not so much about Virginia. Maybe Virginia does have some kind of mental health issues because of everything that she's been through. I mean, it hasn't been easy for her the last several years. And just the fact that she was 17 years old when she was trafficked to Epstein's Island and was tossed around all these men, it's traumatic. It's a lot. But let's look into it because I do believe that there's more to the story. I also know this because we've done so many readings and I know this psychically. And as you know, I do get downloads every day. I kind of like lately, I've been getting downloads every day. Okay. And I write them down. I'll just put them all together and I'm going to share them with you, or certain stuff. I just share them with you whenever I go live. And I know that that April's going to be a very disruptive month. A lot of things are going to come out which have been hiding in the shadows. A lot of shocking things are going to come out. So I'm like, let's look into this. This is interesting. So we're going to start with Virginia. Then we're going to read a little bit on Karen Reed because her second trial, she's already going through her second trial because her first trial there was a mistrial because the jury was unable to reach a verdict. There was a whole drama behind that, but I have done a reading on Karen Reed, a very detailed reading on her and her relationship to John O'Keefe, the cop, the boyfriend that she is being accused or allegedly she unalived. Okay, I'm putting it in quotes. So I've already given you 2 readings from a while ago that you can watch this weekend while you guys are doing nothing and just relaxing and eating snacks. You're welcome. So I just want to do a little quick updated reading on Karen Reed. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because a lot came out during that reading that I did. I think it was when was it? Last May. I think it was last May or June when I did this reading, which was when her first trial was on. Okay, here we go. This is Virginia Giuffre. Okay, she is a victim or an alleged victim. We don't know because they did settle out of court with Prince Andrew. An SA victim or Schmeck's trafficking victim of Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. I want to see, and I want to ask the cards about, the cards are jumpy, about, first of all, about this car accident. What's up with that? And then we'll look at her energy. Okay, I'll drop her card. Page of Swords. This has to do with children. Children were on board. Supposedly, she posted that on Instagram because she wanted to get her children's attention, to feel sorry for her. We'll see what that means. Hold on. Okay, what can you tell me about Virginia Giuffre's car accident, please? Ooh, 2 more jumper cards here. The Star. Attention. There you go. Judgment. All right. 6 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, the Fool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, I'm going to show you the jumper cards real quick. Hello for everyone who's just entering the chat. Nice to see you. Happy Friday. All right, this has to do Page of Swords, kids. Star is also wanting, it's healing. Star can mean a lot of things in a reading, but you always have to look at the cards next to it as well, and what the card makes you feel. This is how I read the cards. I don't need them, as you know, but I love using them. I love divination. So, children, this is healing, or trying to get your child or your children's attention. I see with a star, and kind of like make yourself seem like you're trying to make things seem like they're different than they are, if you know what I mean. Because I also have the judgment here. This is about feeling that you're being judged, feeling that there is a lot of criticism. I believe this has to do with with her children, to be honest. I believe this has to do with her children, wanting her children's attention, wanting to make them feel sorry for her and her estranged husband as well, and not wanting to be judged, not wanting to be seen the way that she was seen pre-accident. These were just the jumper cards, by the way. 6 of Wands, wanting attention from the world. This is very much being in the limelight. Oh, there you go. It is blurring out. 5 of Pentacles. She must be struggling as well financially, but this is also being left out in the cold, feeling that you don't have a support system, feeling alone. This was a cry for help, you guys, the Fool. I don't see a car accident, meaning this wasn't a bad accident. It wouldn't cause the injuries and the issues that she has with her kidneys. It's a minor accident. It doesn't even come up in the reading, and I specifically asked about the accident. This was about her children. So there was a minor accident, and I do believe she jumped on that, and she used that to gain the attention from the public and her children and her estranged husband. This is a cry for help. 6 of Swords. She's not going to die in 4 days. I mean, the 4 days are now done. They're she's gonna survive. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Yes, I do see she has health issues. This could be the kidneys. Yeah, it is the kidneys, actually. It is the kidneys. She does have an issue with her kidneys, but this is not related at all to this car accident. At all. Let's see. 8 of Swords. Unfortunately, she is suffering from mental health issues. She does. I can see that. I have the 8 of Swords here. She's a little bit confused. Hmm. Hmm. I'm also getting that she's riddled by paranoia. She does have these intrusive, paranoid thoughts. I believe she thinks that she's being followed, or someone's keeping tabs on her. I mean, I don't blame her, to be honest. Um, but I don't think this is the case, though. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, for Virginia. Okay, this is what I'm getting. I believe that, and I just want to say this. A lot of people don't believe that she was even sex trafficked. Okay, they don't. Some people are like, uh she probably went there willingly. She probably knew what she was getting herself into, just like what's happening right now in Dubai. We can talk about this a little bit later. I don't know if you've heard about the porta potty parties, if you've heard of what's happening. There was a young influencer who was found with a broken back, severely beaten and abused, and she was found. I don't know where she was found, but on the side of a road. I don't know. Okay, but she went missing, and they found her a few days afterwards. And so there's a lot of talk about what's happening over there in Dubai, and all these women who are being paid to to go to Dubai for the weekend and participate in these very diddler style parties. All right. Um, so there is people are so there are a lot of people who believe that she went to the Epstein Island and she got involved with these men willingly. So she knew what she was getting herself into. I'm not sure. I believe her. I do believe her story, and I do believe that she was essayed and she was ST'd, schmex trafficked. I know sometimes I get confused myself. Here I can speak freely, it's fine, but I still use the code words because you never know. And I'm used to it now. Even in my everyday life, I'm saying unaliving now. I don't say killing or anything like that. I just use the words that we use on YouTube. I'm so used to it. Let's see. I do believe, look, because I have the Knight of Cups here and Temperance here, and I'm just gonna pull one more card, Ten of Swords. Ouch. Hold on. Yeah. Her past and things that she's seen and things that she's been involved in or was involved in have really taken a toll on her mental health, to the point where she, as I mentioned earlier, she's paranoid. There's paranoia. There's a lot of fear. Um, she has trust issues with men, even though she seemed to have had a very good marriage and had 3 kids, I believe, from her marriage. But unfortunately, it didn't last. Ah, God, hold on, you guys. Hold on. Okay, here's the thing. She believes that someone's going to unalive her. She truly believes that. She believes that someone's going to eventually unalive her, even though Epstein's no longer with us. Prince Andrew is, and the other elites that were part of these parties and would visit the island. Oh, Lord. Work. 4 of Cups. The world. I am worried for her. And I'll be super blunt and direct. I don't believe that Virginia, it doesn't feel, I don't know. I'm not given that information, but what I do know is that unfortunately, I don't know if it's because of her kidneys or something else, but this is going to affect her life, the quality, the type of quality of life she's going to have. That didn't even make sense, but the quality of life she's going to have. And it's also going to cut her life short. It is. Not now, not this year, but not long either. So I feel sorry for her. She's been through a lot, and she's been gaslit so much, and she's been even verbally abused as well, aside from all the other abuse that she's received. But she's also been verbally abused. I don't know if this is her husband that I'm picking up, or it's just generally people who know her, or just the online world, or just overall the world, people just attacking her and being mean to her. And this has taken a toll on her. Mentally, she's not all there. So there's a lot of things happening. It's not her fault. It's all been triggered from things that she herself has experienced and things that she has seen. Let's see what you guys are saying. I helped walk his mom's. Sorry, hold on, you guys. We're close to getting to the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, so expect for things to go even crazier. When Prince Andrew helped walk his mom's coffin, 2 hectares shouted at him for being that. That is Virginia. Interesting. I did not know that. Interesting. She did, but she didn't get much support, to be honest. That's the thing. And I feel bad for her. And I do feel that all of the stress, all of this pain, all of it, it's just broken her. It's just broken her. And this, what just happened a few days ago with the accident and the post and all of it, it is really a cry for help. And I hope she has family around her to give her that support, the support that she needs, because I'm super worried about where this all will lead eventually. It's horrible. That's the thing about the online world. One day people will, admire you and look up to you and praise you. And the next day things can change and people will attack you and hate you and cancel you and all of it. It's crazy out there. The do file things to them, the money isn't worth it. I agree. And there's so many, and there's a huge discussion here over here as well, because there are so many influencers that fly over. Like there was a guy that came out anonymously. He works for one of the Greek airlines, and he said Friday evenings the flights to Dubai are packed with influencers, packed, and they all come back on Sunday. And that, and you know what? They make 10K, 20K in a weekend. They come back. They might do this once every month, once every 2 months, but still, it's just the things that they do is disgusting. And we're looking at you too, Diddler, because it's pretty much the same thing. What they do down there in Dubai with what Diddler did at his what are they called again? His freak off parties. Yeah, on the same page. Same kind of evil and disgusting behavior and acts. They leave so much behind in Dubai, I'm sure. Yeah. It's sickening, it's disgusting. And these women, and I understand there are a lot of times the women. Listen, if you're an influencer, you're making money. You don't need to sell your body. Okay. If you're an influencer, okay, you have the know-how, how to market yourself for you in order for you to make more money. If you're in need for more money, there's OnlyFans. You people use OnlyFans. It's fine. It's safe. No one can touch you. No one can harm you. You can do whatever you want on there. It's all good. Why? Because you want to buy your Balenciaga bag, because you want to buy your Gucci loafers and your Chanel bag, your boy bag. These things, these material goods, they will not improve your life. They will not add anything positive to your life. This is your ego. This is your ego talking. I'm going to go on. I'm going to really bury my self-esteem, okay, and go to a porta potty, blah blah blah. Oh God, I missed it. I'm off today, you guys. I'm really not myself today. Just I need to say this before I feel exhausted the last 2 days. I'm not well. I've had a migraine. I don't know what's wrong with me. I do believe it's perimenopause and Hashimoto's all combined together that are just making me, I'm not myself. What was I saying? Yeah. So all of this is your ego. Your ego is leading you to really bury your self-esteem and go to these parties, be humiliated, completely humiliated for what? For money, There are other ways you can make money. There are other ways you can make money. This is not the way. And I know that Schmeck's workers, it is a job, it is a profession, and there are women who that's what they do for a living, okay? And I respect that, and I have absolute no issue with that. But these are women who are professional Schmeck's workers. Influencers aren't professional. Well, technically they're not professional, okay, but they still do it. Why? Because they want to become rich. Either that is it's either because they want to make more money to buy more beautiful stuff and create better content and create a faux lavish life for the followers, right? Either that, or they're hoping they're going to meet this super rich and powerful Arab Emirati prince, sultan, whatever, get married to this person and live an amazing, lavish life. Where's your self esteem? What are you doing? How about your family? How about your family? Some of these women that go to Dubai have kids, okay? They have children. They leave their children on the weekend just to go do that, come back with a wad of cash. I'm sorry, but you're risking your life. You're risking your life. All right. So I don't know. Do you guys have any questions or anything regarding Virginia or Prince Andrew? Let me see what you guys are saying. A show called Baddies here in America. And they're known for going to Dubai for the parties. They're run by Zeus Network. Really? I don't know if that might come up for you. Interesting. I didn't know that. Must decide to why die so young. That too. That too. It's just I don't know. I just feel that, and I don't want to generalizing. I don't want to generalize by saying, this the Gen Zers, this generation, it's the different kind of breed. They are a different kind of breed. They're not. It's not the same with us, millennials or Xers. It's very different. I believe that we were raised in a different times, different political environments, different family environments, different financial environments. So very different times. We weren't the kids that were raised with iPads and iPhones. We had them or access to phones, to mobile phones, cell phones later. So we're built differently, they're built differently, but this is the thing. The Zers, the generation Z is all about social media and the online world, everything they do. Every time I go out for a drink or I go to a club or I go to a party, whenever I see like the younger generation, they don't enjoy themselves. They don't dance. They don't interact. They don't talk among themselves. They don't do anything. They're just there on their phones, selfies, or taking videos. They don't dance, they don't flirt, they don't do all the stuff that we used to do. They don't. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad. I'm like, this is the real world. Where are you? This is the real world. Do it now. Do it now. In 10 years, 5 years, however long it might be, you'll be married, you're going to have kids. Okay? You're going to have a ton of responsibility. You're not going to have free time. You're not going to be able to do the same things that you're doing now. You're going to change. Your body's going to change. Life is going to get harder. Why aren't you enjoying your life? Why aren't you out there? Why am I venting right now? I don't know. I told you, I'm not myself today. So, but it just makes me sad. It just makes me sad. And look at them now. All these influencers. Everyone's an influencer. Everyone's a podcaster. Everyone's a YouTuber. But everyone wants more money, more fame, more recognition, more attention. And then they end up falling in these traps, because these are traps, because they promise these girls money, they promise them cars, they promise them this or that, the other thing, and then they make them sign NDAs. So because they know that if anything goes wrong, they cannot, they cannot, they're not liable for whatever happened. And the girls, these women, cannot go out in public and tell the public or the police or anyone for that matter who did this to them. I mean, they can't tell the police, but they're too scared. They're not going to do it because then they're scared that they're going to get in trouble. It's a mess. So, I am passionate because I'm passionate about generally the whole. I have a soft spot and I can go crazy, okay? When it comes to sex trafficking, to women who are being abused, to women that just have it hard in life, because yes, we talk about equality and definitely things have improved vastly the last 20 years for us women, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. There's just so many, and women are still scared. They're still in that, they still believe that their position in society or in a relationship or in a business environment is to be quiet and accept what the patriarchy and what men tell them to do. No, and I'm very passionate about that because I myself have been, as you guys know, I've been sexually attacked. I've been sexually abused. I've been through it all, okay? I was raped by my boyfriend when I was 16. My boyfriend, someone I trusted, someone I loved, okay? And after that, Sony Music, so many stories about what they did to me because I was this young, impressionable, cute girl. And the CEO of Sony and all these artists thought that they had this false sense of entitlement when it came to women and myself, specifically myself, right? So I want to be their voice because I do have a platform. I want to shake them up and wake them up and say, no, you do not need to do this. You do not need to put yourself in a risky situation. You don't need to stay in an abusive relationship. We live in 2025. There are so many resources, so many ways that you can get out of an abusive situation, or whether it's a relationship, at work, wherever it may be. That's why I'm so passionate. And that's why I won't stop talking about people like the Diddler, Epstein, and Russell Brand, because they use their toxic masculine power to take our power away. And I won't have it. I won't have it. I don't care. And I've been through it and I'm not afraid. And you know what? If you've been through it, and you've done the work with yourself, you're going to be just like me. You're not going to take the shit from anyone. Okay. And I want to protect these women. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And whenever I hear men, okay, because I have a lot of male friends, and because I have a good balance of feminine and masculine energy, which means that a lot of men feel very comfortable around me and they talk to me as if I'm one of the bros. I'm one of them. All of my male friends. So I know a lot. They do confide in me. And whenever they talk about escorts and sex worker and stuff in a very demeaning way, you guys, I don't accept it. I defend these women. I will not allow any man to talk about women in that way ever. I'm done. Sorry. I digress. What are you guys saying? Oh, I'm so sorry, Scorpio moon. Scorpio moon. Scorpio moon. We attract these types of Scorpios. You guys, Scorpio rules the genitalia, STDs, sex. Scorpios are very sexual. Their love language is sex. Scorpio moons. Unfortunately, Scorpio moons do tend to have really bad traumatic sexual experiences, unfortunately, and past lives. I've been through that. See? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm strong now. I wasn't when I was younger. And also, when you're younger, you're inexperienced, you're impressionable. You're not confident in yourself. You don't feel like a woman. I can tell you, you guys, I started feeling like a whole complete woman and realizing the power that I have as a woman in my late 30s. Yeah, my late 30s. That's when I realized who I am. That's when I came to terms how much power I have. Because I've always been, all of us, we've been conditioned to believe, especially the Xers, the millennials, and the boomers. We've been conditioned to believe that we are women. Us as women, we have to fulfill the 10,000 roles that we have. Okay, we have to do them all amazingly and great. And on top of that, we need to constantly prove ourselves, constantly. And who do we have to prove ourselves to? Men. Why? Wrong. No, don't want to. I don't want to prove myself to anyone, especially men. Why don't they prove themselves to me? Us. Power to impact change, power to ask questions. Precisely. There's so much power, you guys. We have so much power. I've experienced exactly. Isn't that the statistics alone are scary? And I'm all for, when the whole Baldoni Blake Lively thing came out, me too. Initially, I was like, oh, not another one in Hollywood, not another one in Hollywood that abuses their power. And what power? Their masculine power, because Baldoni doesn't have power in Hollywood, but the fact, or back then, because now we know he's innocent, but that's not the point. The point is that instantly as women, when a case such as the Baldoni Lively case, when it first came out, we will jump on and say, poor Lively, or poor woman, she was sexually abused, or she went through it because she's a woman. Of course you're going to jump on it and believe that it's the woman is the victim, because we have been the victim for so long. So long in history, we've been the victim of so many things. Up until a few decades ago, women didn't have the right to vote. And in some countries, they still don't have the right to vote. Okay? We used to be breeding machines for men. That's all we were. So there's a lot, society still has a lot of work to do. Okay? Especially men. There's still a lot to be done. And a lot to be learned from all of this. And look at this. So I'm completely an advocate now of Justin Baldoni, and because he is now in that position that women have been and will continue to be, unfortunately, being falsely accused, being attacked, being smeared, being hated on. And he's a man, and he's receiving it right now. He's getting the brunt of it right now. Okay. And that's why people had a hard time believing that things were switched. It wasn't Baldoni who was the bad guy. It was Lively and Ryan, her husband, Ryan Reynolds, who were the bad guys. And it took a while for people to accept it and to realize and accept that. Why? Because it doesn't seem normal. It doesn't seem normal, right? Normal in quotes. What's normal? Sexual abuse, sexual anything that is done to a person without their consent should not be normalized, regardless of sex, regardless who they are, regardless of age, all of it. I'm 30 and I feel just now growing mentally and spirit. I tell you, mid to late 30s, I was like, this is the best time of my life. I look my best, I feel my best. I'm completely centered with myself. Everything is completely centered. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to achieve. I know the good, the bad, and the ugly, my good, bad, and ugly, and I know what I have to work on. So you guys enjoy. Don't be afraid of aging. Aging is not a bad thing. And luckily we live in at a time where if you don't like the way you look as you're aging, you can do something about it. But aging itself is actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You learn so much about yourself and you gain so much experience, and that's how you evolve. That's how you grow. You guys, we have more power than they do. Okay. Unfortunately, it's just because we've been so conditioned and we've been treated so unfairly, let's just say, throughout history. We still cannot accept who we really are and how strong and powerful we are, because without us, what would men do? What would men do? And I don't mean what would they do in business or in financing and politics. What would men do if they didn't have women around them in their lives to ground them, to teach them, to guide them, to lead them, to take care of them, to nurture them?